Now, I don't get to watch Toronto that often. I think a subscriber of mine, Kermit Trill, probably is more nuanced about this team than I am. But what I do know about Toronto from watching them, in order for this team to win in the playoffs, a couple things have to happen. This is not in order of importance. It's just, number one, they have to be defensively active, in my opinion. Okay, whenever they're defensively flat. Now, this team does miss a guy like Bismack Biyombo, his interior presence. He was tough. He really had some great playoff games last year, in particular against the Cleveland Cavaliers, although they lost that series. They have to be defensively active, and they got that tonight, especially from a guy like P.J. Tucker, right? They have to be at least reasonably successful from downtown, the outside shooting. And they got that tonight. I think they tied a franchise record tonight. They made 14 three-pointers. So that's check. And the biggest thing they have to have happen is they have to have their big guys step up. That being DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, and Serge Ibaka. And they got that tonight. But in particular, Lowry and DeRozan, they have to step up. They have to play well at the same time. Or if not, one guy has to go berserk to offset the other guy. But generally speaking, when these guys don't play well, they don't win. And like I said, game one, Lowry did not show up. Last year, it was noted how poorly DeRozan and Lowry, but especially Lowry, shot the ball, during the playoffs. Despite that, however, they were able to still make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, mostly because of their defense. Their defense and other guys stepped up for the club. Like Carroll, I remember him having some good games. But this year, I don't know if the Raptors are as good as they were last year. Last year, you got to remember, they were the only team other than the Golden State Warriors to actually beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs. And they were a good team last year. This year, they don't seem to be quite as good, but they're still a contender. They're still a team you have to show up and play hard to actually have a chance of beating. Of course, we know in game one, Milwaukee came into Toronto and just took their hearts. I mean, that was just an embarrassing performance by the Raptors at home. This game, they were up. They were, up against Milwaukee, and Milwaukee made a go of it. I think they had like a little run at the end. They were able to make a game of it. It was tight in the fourth quarter, but ultimately, the Raptors were able to hold on for the victory. I think a couple of players for the Bucks missed some wide open shots that could have gave the Bucks a lead. Excuse me, guys. Last night I didn't do some videos, and I did them in the morning, but I like to do them at night, right after the playoffs games are over. I'm a little tired, so excuse me. I'm going to get these videos out the way for you guys. But I think one of the guys that missed the open shot was Matthew Dellavedova, who did not shoot the ball well at all for the Bucks, and that was a theme that we saw from Milwaukee. I've been trying to work on pronouncing these guys' names too, man. I've been trying, all right. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yes. Had a relatively strong game. 24 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. Actually a very good game. But he did not shoot the ball well. 9 of 24, okay? Didn't shoot the ball well. As did Brogdon. Only 3 of 11 from the floor. So they were able to contain some of the Milwaukee Bucks better players, and that's just how you beat these guys. You gotta, when you're playing against a certain team, you always have to try to contain the team's best player. They didn't do a great job of that in game one. They did a better job of that in game two. Like I said, still, despite that, the game still came down to the wire. So they have to be a little concerned about that. What else I want to talk about? Giannis Valanciunas, excuse me, had a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. I'm trying to work on pronouncing these guys' names, man. Giannis Valanciunas, I think that's his name. Had a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. But Kyle Lowry finally had a good game. 22 points, 6 of 12 shooting, 2 of 5 from beyond three-point range, and 8 of 9 from the foul line. He made a concerted effort to get to the foul line, to get into a rhythm, and that worked for him. And the series is now tied. And this is anybody's series. Of course, Toronto is favored. If I had to be a betting man, I would bet that Toronto would win this series 4-2. But you never know in these playoffs. You never know how these things can go. So tell me what you guys think about this series.